What is up, everybody? Welcome, UFC 306, the Super Sugar preview. It's fight week. It's the Sphere. It's time. How we feeling?
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear, cause we are here. We wanted to kick off the show playing that song, but YouTube is pretty whack and they probably would have taken down our whole video, so we didn't want to risk it. But bro, I could not be more excited. This one feels bigger than the rest of them. It feels
I agree.
bigger than 299. It feels bigger than Boston. I believe that was 292. This one just feels different, man, because if Sugar wins this fight, it's going to propel him into a whole nother dimension, man. I can't say, like, Merab's a scary guy. All respect to Merab, too. I like him. He can win this fight. There's a way he can. But obviously, bro, I'm all aboard the Sugar train, and I'm feeling confident. What are your emotions, feelings, everything right now?
Yeah, bro, I'm excited. It's very few times in this sport and in any sport, I think there's times where you're like, it's a legacy fight or it's a legacy game or it's a legacy match. This feels like a legacy fight.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like if he gets past this, obviously we know what it's going to propel him to as far as the star that he already is. It's going to be bigger. But I think if you just look as far as MMA, UFC resume, this win's huge.
It propels him not quite into that GSP, John Jones, Mighty Mouse category, Anderson Silva yet, but he's going to take that next step up. This is going to put him very close to maybe the Volkanovskis, Kamaru Usmans, that tier, if Sugar was able to win this fight. And it's going to open up a lot of doors in the future, because if he wins here, he has a chance to go up to featherweight. He has a chance to take an O from a Nurmagomedov. So a lot at stake. And then Merab, I mean, he already has the resume to be one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. He's beaten three former champs in his last three fights: Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, and Henry Cejudo. So three very impressive wins. So, I mean, everything at stake here. Like you said, this one just feels massive, especially the fact that it's in the Sphere. Oh man, I just bumped my desk, but I'm getting chills.
And I think one of the things that's like different is, like, I think the Aljo fight, it was kind of his first test versus a true wrestler. Obviously Peter Yan was his first real test, first big test, but Peter Yan obviously did take him down a lot in that fight, did try to wrestle, but primarily Peter Yan was a striker, kickboxer. So the Aljo fight was like, we don't really know if he can win it. We haven't really seen him versus a wrestler. No one really expected it. Lights out. This fight, we've seen him do it. We've seen him beat a wrestler. We've seen him beat Aljo. So it's like, can he almost has to do it again. He's expected to do it again. Like, this is the first time. I mean, obviously the Cheeto fight, but again, striker, primarily a striker. This is the first time he's kind of favored in like that grappling style fight. So big one here. It's a lot of pressure all the way around. I mean, I think obviously there's always stuff to lose, but I think the Aljo fight, there was just nothing to lose. I mean, you don't have the belt yet. You're just fighting a wrestler. No one expects you to win. You go out there and put his lights out. But I think this one, man, I think people are expecting him to win. So I think the pressure is definitely there, but no pressure, no diamonds, baby.
Yup. Let's go. Should we get into the rest of these fights? As y'all can see, we got 7 fights we're going to be covering. We didn't want to do all 10 just because we really wanted to do the ones that get our juices flowing. And I got to say, after watching the press conference, Ode Osborne and Ronaldo Rodriguez had a case to be on here. That was one of the funniest interactions I've seen. They were talking shit to each other, but they didn't speak the same language. So the translator was trying to make it work, but he wasn't translating everything. I heard some profanities because I know a little bit of Spanish. I've been learning, like I said.
You're right. You're on Rosetta Stone.
Yeah. So there was, the translator wasn't saying it all, but I was picking up on it. It was some good trash talk back and forth between Ode Osborne and Ronaldo Rodriguez. But without further ado, we can't even call him the kid anymore. Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Acrylic. And Raul Rosas has moved up to a minus 1,000 favorite. He's still the youngest guy in the organization, even though he made his debut 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, fought in the Contender Series 2 years ago. Only loss was to Christian Rodriguez. And then Acrylic, he's 3-3 in the UFC, 31 years old, 25-11 overall. Made his UFC debut in 2021. So nothing really stands out to me. He's not insane on the feet. and I don't really think he's a good enough grappler to withstand Rosas. I'll throw the odds up here right now.
Before we get to that, I just want to. Do you have a beer?
I do, brother. I got a Mexican beer.
I want to cheers you because the pronunciation of that name was spot on, and you went 2 for 2 in that. And I was hoping you were going to take the lead on this one because I didn't know how to say his name. So thank you to that one. So cheers to you.
I got you.
Great.
I'm not gonna lie. I just won it. I didn't know if I got it right or not, but it sounded pretty good.
Oh yeah, I hey, could have fooled me. Yeah, I think this is kind of a setup here by the UFC for Raul Rosas. Kick the night off, started in the sphere, get it going. I don't see how he can stick with Rosas on the feet. Obviously, I don't like that submission number, -170. I don't like laying that much for a method. I could see knockout maybe, but I kind of see a club and sub here. So I think he does get it done by sub, but I think he gets it done early.
Yeah, one bet that I did see a little bit of value on was Raul Rosas in round 1 at +135, only because he is such a fast starter and Acrylic Wang doesn't have amazing submission defense. So I kind of think if Raul Rosas could get to a good grappling spot with more than 2 minutes left in the round, he could get a submission in that first round. First round submission is also tempting. I might look into that on the day of, depending on how college football goes. But exciting one. And I want to hear your take on this comment Raul Rosas said. He said he wants to become the youngest champ, break John Jones' record. I believe Jones was 24 when he won the belt, and then he wants to retire at 25 years old. What do you feel about Raul saying that? What's your take on it?
I mean, I'm all for people doing what they want to do. I have nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you want to go out that young, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, you look at a lot of these new guys we talk about, like Sugar doesn't want to fight forever. Like the more you get into it, and the more like it's getting in this new era and like 2024 is like you don't have to fucking fight your whole life to make a living. I don't think so. I mean, he started really young. You got to think about the hits he's already taken on his head. He's by fighting years, he's probably already 25.
That's what I was gonna say. Yep.
So I mean, you figure I don't think nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's got to get going though. So he got to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at a guy like Jared Cannonier, who's 40 years old, but he didn't start fighting until he was older than 25, I believe. So in terms of fighting years, him and Raul Rosas might not be as far apart as you may think, which is pretty crazy.
And then you think like, where like he wants to fight, he wants to retire by 25, he wants to be the champ, the youngest champ. Is like, damn, he better move quick. Like, but not really. That's fucking 4 years.
Yeah, dude. I mean, 1 to 2 fights a year. As long as he does it right, he'll get that title shot.
Yeah, definitely.
I still think he's a tiny bit farther away from being at the top of bantamweight just because of how good that 135-pound division is. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov is still going to be there.
I just don't think he's skilled enough. His skill's not there to be a elite guy yet. And again, he's still only 19, but I think he has a long way to go as far as skill development.
Yeah, I feel like grappling wise, his skills like top tier, but he goes too fast and he needs to learn a little bit more patience. We've already seen it in the Ricky Tarusio's fight. He definitely was more patient than his previous ones. So yeah, exciting to see what that kid's going to do. It's crazy that he's still the youngest fighter on the roster.
Even though for a while.
Yeah. Even though
he's what? I want to say Yasmin's second. She's close.
Yeah, there's a lot of youngins like these next guys. Oh, I forgot. We got a video. But Edgar Chairez and Josh Vaughn, a teammate of the Texas kid, training out of 4-ounce MMA is Josh Vaughn under Daniel Pineda. Here's a little video. We're trying to, add some more flavor to our super previews. But anyway, yeah, great fight here. So Josh Vaughn, he got the news on around September 3rd that he was taking this fight. It was supposed to be against, what's his name? Kevin Borjas. It was supposed to be Chairez versus Borjas, but Borjas had to pull out, enter Vaughn. And Vaughn opens at a -205 favorite. We saw Chairez live. He fought Tatsuro Taira better than anyone else has so far in the UFC. Do you see any action on the underdog here, or do you like the favorite in Josh Vaughn?
I see a lot of action because it's like Josh Vaughn's, I want to say, third fight in like 10 months.
He got knocked out in his last one.
Yeah, he's coming off a knockout. Chirez, big reach advantage. I like the value here with Chirez. I don't see the number for Josh Vaughn being that high. I'm all over Chirez here. And even if it was a pick 'em, man, I think I still lean Chirez. So if I see that plus 190, man, I'm gonna go all in on Chirez here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of leaning towards Vaughn. He was beating Charles Johnson up until cardio kind of played into a little bit, but skills wise, I think he's very high level, only 22 years old. But he has had 4 canceled bouts since April 6th of this year. So what is that? 5 months. He's had 4 canceled bouts, and none of them were his fault. His opponents just pulled out. One of them, the UFC rescheduled both of them. One bet I like is Josh Vaughn to win in round 3 to start, because I think these guys, they're pretty closely matched. Neither of them are going to go away early in the fight. So I see this one going into the later rounds, and I see Josh Vaughn either winning by decision or a late finish here. All right. And next up, we got another fighter that we've seen live and in person. Yasmin Jauregui.
Seen her twice.
Girl fighter. Yeah, so Yasmin coming off of a unanimous decision win where it wasn't quite as entertaining as her other fights like the ones we're watching here, but she played it safe.
Like that, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you've been high on
like that, bro. She's like that.
Yeah, her only loss was that knockout to Denise Gomes, where you actually somehow called it. You just knew. I don't know if you just felt some energy or something like that, but you sniped that one, which is pretty wild. So you're obviously you're great at picking Yasmin Jauregui fights, and I just realized I didn't switch the picture yet. So what do you got for us here?
Yeah, obviously Yasmin Jauregui, my favorite female fighter. Pick all her wins. The one loss she had, I told you on here, I kind of like the other girl. I'm all over Yasmin by knockout here. It's been a minute since she's had a knockout finish. I think she gets back in the knockout column here. I want to say the girl she's fighting just came off a knockout loss. Let me see.
She won her last fight by decision, but before that she got knee barred really bad, and she had to tear at least 2 CLs in that because it was a nasty knee bar. It was only like a little bit more than a year ago.
Yeah, so I'm all over Yasmin here. I think the momentum of the night, energy in the crowd, Mexican crowd, hopefully. I think Yasmin gets back in the knockout column and gets a big knockout. She's due for one.
I almost kind of like under 2.5 rounds here as well because of everything you said. And 8 of 14 of Souza's wins have come by knockout. So she's no stranger to winning by knockout either. We've seen Yasmin's chin isn't the strongest part of her game. So I really like the under here. And it's, plus 220. So
let's go, Yasmin.
Oh, man. This next fight, we touched on it earlier in the week. Whoo! Oh, my goodness. This would be fight of the night. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. I butchered that. Man, I missed the easy ones. But these guys have pretty similar paths to the UFC. They both came from the Contender Series. They both lost their UFC debuts, and they've both gone undefeated since and looked very good doing it. Zellhuber coming off of a win versus Francisco Prado, and Esteban Ribovic coming off of a nasty knockout that we're about to see on the screen right here against Terrence McKinney. Man, we'll see it at a better angle, don't worry. But this is one of the knockouts of the year. It's getting slept on. Very, very exciting fight here. How do you feel about this one?
Man, this is probably like the second or third most excited I am for the fight card. I love this fight. This is a perfect matchup. Great matchup. As far as how I think it goes, I love both these guys. I just think Zellhuber's too tall. He has too long a reach. I don't see it ending early, so I'd maybe possibly look at a Zellhuber by decision. But yeah, man, I don't even want to bet on this fight. I just want to watch this fight and enjoy the masterclass that these two guys are.
I like that, dude. Zellhuber, he got disrespected at media day yesterday. A reporter said, "So last time you fought on Noche UFC, it didn't go your way. How are you looking to bounce back from that?" He won. I mean, who are we letting in to these press conferences? Why can't we be there?
Let us in there.
Yeah, so Zellhuber kind of looked at him. He's like, I won. I love how he speaks English, too. It's pretty funny. I think he has big star potential below and above the border. So I'm going with Daniel Zellhuber here. I think it sounds bad, but his chin is a very good asset. I'm not saying he gets hit a lot, but when he does, he doesn't tend to react very much. He has the Mexican chin, and he has great timing. He's shown he has great cardio. He has the height and the big reach advantage, like you said. So, yeah, I got to go Zellhuber here, but I won't be surprised if Ribovic pulls it off either. I think we get a great fight here where we're excited to see both of these guys fight again no matter what.
Yeah, I luckily I hope that it goes the distance. I don't want to see either of these guys get finished, but I think it's going to be a straight one of these fights we talk about war. I kind of see it as the Dan Hooker kind of fight last card where it's just a war decision either way. But yeah, I like Zellhuber though. I think his reach, he's too technical. I think he's too good at this point, and I hope he gets a big fight after this if he wins.
Yeah, remember I kind of mapped out his roadmap after that UFC Noche win last year. I think I said he was supposed to fight one more guy, then fight on this card, and then get a ranked fight. So he's a little behind schedule, but we're still looking good for that. One thing that kind of caught my eye is that if you look on the screen, ESPN Bet has the fight going the distance at -185. But out of Ribovic's 12 finishes, 7 have been in the first round. So, I mean, there's definitely a little action for this fight not going the distance with how much these guys are both going to be going for it. Yeah, simple enough.
Yeah, I think still they're both too like talented. They both want they both respect each other. So I don't see a early finish. I don't see a knockout. I think, like I said, I think it goes the distance here. I think Zellhuber gets it done by decision.
Let's hope so. All right, moving on to the fight that was supposed to happen a few months ago at UFC 303. But we had the madness ensue where Brian T. City Ortega had to pull out on the day of the fight. Dan Ige steps in. Diego Lopez beats him on short notice. We all know that. But we are here. Brian Ortega taking on Diego Lopez. It's finally happening. Ortega coming off of this amazing comeback win versus Yair Rodriguez. Where just looked really good here. Hasn't fought a lot recently. But I was looking, and his only losses in his whole entire MMA career are to a prime Max Holloway, a prime Alexander Volkanovski, and then if you want to count it, he lost to Yair when he dislocated his shoulder in the second round. But on the flip side, Diego Lopez has been insane. He hasn't been here for a long time, but he has been here for a very good time. He actually lost on the Contender Series, but then he took that short notice fight against Evelev, had the great performance, and he's rattled off, I believe, 3 or 4 wins since then. I had it all written down, but I can never find the paper when it matters. But what do you like here?
Ortega, man. I don't think Lopez is as good as people are portraying or that the books are giving him the credit for. I mean, he fought a Dan Ige on 4 hours notice, and Ige took him to deep waters.
Yeah. And
you look at it, I mean, if you look at Ortega and Ige right now, I think Ortega is a higher level than that. Ortega is a former fucking champion contender. So, I mean, I just think the level here is different. I think Ortega sneaks out a W here and by decision.
Dude, he had prime Volkanovski wrapped up twice. Yeah. And he almost had Volk out of there. The best Volk anyone's seen.
Yeah.
He almost got that dude out of there.
Prime fucking Volk. And he had a long prime, but that was fucking peak, probably best ever Volk right there.
Yup. Yeah, 2 bets I had written down was Ortega money line plus 155. Why not? And then Ortega to win in round 2 to start at plus 195. I am also all over T-City here. I mean, the fact that Diego Lopez lost to Joe Anderson Brito on the Contender Series, obviously Brito's been a guy in the UFC. He's 5-1 since he's gotten the contract. But I mean, like we said, Ortega's only lost to the best of the best.
Yeah,
I think there is danger in the first round.
Too much respect.
Yeah, there is danger in that first round, like I've said, just because the way they collide. Ortega's slow starter, Lopez fast starter. You never love that. But I think after the first 3 minutes, it's all Ortega.
Yeah, I think Ortega's too smart, too much of a veteran to where he knows he's a fast starter. He knows that he kind of has to be cautious early in the fight. So he's just a professional, man. I'm just going to go with the guy who's a pro.
Yeah, I'll throw anything catch your eye here. One that caught my eye, Ortega by sub plus 700. I know Lopez is obviously a very good grappler as well,
Little
but
T City.
if you can get Brian Ortega for submission at plus 700 in a fight where the other guy probably wants to grapple a little bit too, I don't know. I can't. It's hard to look away from.
Yeah, I like Ortega here, man. I'm just gonna take the money line, load up, so I can put more on the man, the myth.
I like that a lot. And we've got one more fight before we get there. The trilogy. Alexa the Cutie Grosso versus Valentina Shevchenko. I'll go in reverse here. So Valentina, she was looking like one of the GOATs. She still is one of the GOATs of women MMA. She was running through everyone. Had kind of a sketchy fight against Tyler Santos where it didn't look great. And then this happened. Alexa Grosso chokes her out, shocks the world, takes the belt from her. And then they had a very, very controversial rematch where they drew for the belt. You see it right here. One judge scored the fight for Grasso, the other one scored it for Valentina, and one judge just scored it a draw, which was crazy to me. He gave Grasso a 10-8 in the last round. But I mean, it was a close ass fight. You can't deny that. And here we are at the trilogy. Alexa Grasso minus 140, Valentina plus 120. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but how you feeling?
Yeah, I think you kind of just convinced me. I think it's just got to be Grasso for the fact of her age, the fact that she's beat Valentina, and she's 10-8'd Valentina, and that's a mental edge. Like Valentina hasn't beat Grasso. Like yeah, she's beat her on a scorecard, but she hasn't physically got her hand raised when Alexa didn't. So I think the mental edge, Alexa's youth. I think it's just her time. I'm all over Grasso here to win it.
Me too. I thought the line could have been a little more in Grasso's favor. I'm happy it's not, but I would not have been surprised as it was. I'm going to look it up to get an exact date here, but I can't remember the last time Valentina Shevchenko had a convincing win for the belt. So if you look at her recent fights, it was Lauren Murphy in the fourth round. She finished her with ground and pound. That was September 25th of 2021. I was actually boots on the ground in Vegas that day, not in the arena, but I was getting hammered for my 21st. But yeah, after that Lauren Murphy win, she beat Talia Santos in the split decision, which a lot of people had Santos winning or thought it was a close fight. And then she lost to Grasso, and then she had the draw with Grasso. So we haven't really seen Valentina look like the Valentina of old since 2021. Well, let's see. We got some shouts Tyler Helton. We'll shoot you a message. So anything else on this fight before we move on to the big one?
Do you think Grasso could sub her?
I mean, we've seen it before. It was off of a mistake from Valentina. So, I mean, honestly, I think she almost has a better chance of like rocking her and dropping her and then finishing her with a little ground and pound. Just based off the way that this series has gone. And I think Grasso said it. She feels like she's Valentina's kryptonite or her weakness. And I got to agree with that. Whether it's Valentina just kind of on the decline and Grasso caught her at the right time, or she just matches up really well with her. Either way, I'm all over Grasso here. And dude, she's looked extremely cute during this fight week. I think she got better looking.
Oh, she looks bad. Oh, real good.
You see Suga at the face-off, that video came out where he went up to her and he was like, hi, and he tried to give her a high five and she fist bumped his hand. It was tough. It was tough, but it's all good. Tyler, you can reach out Outside the Cage on Instagram. It's like Outside the Cage Pod, I believe. And I think it's time. I think it's time for that special one that we've been waiting for months right here. You see, we got the gear on. I put a minute 13 of highlight videos out here. We started it back in the series.
Let's just enjoy this. Let's just enjoy this. At the buzzer. I remember where I was for that fight.
That's the one that made me a diehard. I said, that's with my guy, left. Bro. There's something about that guy that's special.
I expect the left to drop versus Marab this weekend. I want to say that one was Cormier Stipe.
Yeah, I think it was, bro. That was a crazy. No, Cormier Stipe was when
Oh no, it was
that's when he
Francis
lost to
Stipe.
Cheeto.
It was
Yeah.
Francis Stipe.
Yeah. Oh, that was a little basketball
Uh,
finish.
Step
And
back.
sorry.
Hey, fade
All
away.
right, now we got to deal with the other guy in the machine. I was live in the arena for this one, Merab Dvalishvili. Maybe the most freakish cardio anyone's ever seen. Oh, that contender series, that was, or not contender series, looking for a fight, that was electric. But yeah, man, I mean, you don't want to be in this position with Merab, and you
He's
don't want
too
to go to deep
small.
waters with him because
He's too small.
yeah, he has the best cardio of all time. But you see all these guys, they're not as tall as Sugar. They're not as fast
Wait
as
till
Sugar.
I know Sugar's cutting weight right now. Wait till he gets his weight back. He's 6'1", 6'2" on fight day.
Yup. Don't let him
Let's
get
just
those
call it what
couple
it is.
inches back.
He's 6'1", 6'2" on fight day. I'm gonna finish the rest of my beer for Sugar Sean, and we'll get on to about the rest of it.
And yeah, this is just it's an exciting time right now. We were talking about it at the beginning of the show, but just so much at stake here for both guys. Whoever wins this fight is in the driver's seat to become the bantamweight GOAT. Just with the resumes they both have, with the guys they've beat, the time that this division is at right now in its history, man, I could not be more excited for this one. So give me your initial breakdown on the fight. I know we've talked about it so much, but we'll try to just talk about it like every other fight.
I've watched a lot of film, and there's a lot of times Merab gets hit with the left, and I'm gonna tell you this right now: Sugar's gonna drop him with the left hand. He can't come into Sugar. He's too long and keep him at range. If he comes into Sugar, he just shoots. He's gonna get a knee. He's gonna get an uppercut. I like the knees he was throwing versus Peter Yan when Tim said we'll look for the knees. The knees are there in this fight, but I think it's gonna be a left, and I think it's gonna be early, real early, because the difference with Aljo and Merab is Aljo kind of picks his spots as far as takedowns. He'll stand a little bit. Merab is gonna take down right away from the beginning. So I think it ends early. I think it ends round one. Sugar Sean knocks Merab Dvalishvili out with the left hand. Sports Center top 10. He's the biggest star in the sport come Monday.
Man, you just said the perfect scenario right there. And I hope that you are right. And my bank account will be a lot better if you are. But I mean, Merab, dude, he scares me. I remember watching that Peter Yan fight and thinking, how do we beat this guy, bro? He looks like a machine. He looks unstoppable. But I heard Sugar and Tim talking about how Merab was able to shoot for 50 takedowns on Peter Yan. It's because Peter just stands there with that high guard, just stands in front of him. Sugar mentioned, I believe it was in his interview with DC, he's not going to be doing that one bit. He's going to be on the bike. He's going to be circling around. I think this is going to be one of the most exhausting fights for both guys. I mean, maybe not exhausting for Merab, but it's going to be a cardio test for Sugar. He's going to have to be moving the whole time. He's going to have to make Merab chase him, get frustrated. And man, I can't wait, man. We've been talking about it for so many months. It's hard to think of more things to say right now.
Man, dude, it's going to be special, man. It's the thrill I get when he wins up there, man. It's up there with it's up there. So
yeah,
obviously you're going to be in town with me watching it. We're undefeated watching it together. So hopefully he gets it done.
Yes, sir. Let's see what we got. Let's see how they said, be honest with you, WWE and UFC. They need to bring someone like Lola Vice versus someone in the UFC. Maybe Team WWE, Brock Lesnar, someone else versus anyone. I just don't know if the WWE has enough guys if they're actual fights. We'd have to see.
Tyler Helton, any relation to Todd Helton? Colorado Rockies legend, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's out of left field.
Nah, hey, I'm a historian.
Said, yeah, loves any sports. It could be. I know Todd Helton. I mean, I don't know how many homers he would have hit in Dodger Stadium, but he was good over there at Coors Field.
Lefty, first base, number 17.
That's elite. I know another lefty that's number 17.
Fuck him. Yeah, man, but
Should we throw your bets up here?
Yeah, let's get to it, man. I'm ready. Fuck it.
Bro, I got fired up when I saw Risk win.
Here we go. Raw roast sauce, under 1.5 rounds, minus 125, 50 to win 40. Chires to win, plus 190, 50 to win 95. Yasmin Howergy by knockout, plus 300, 30 to win 90. Torres and Ignacio under 1.5, 50 to win 45. Irene Aldana to win -110, 70 to win 63. Rodriguez by sub plus 325, 35 to win 114. His last win was via sub, and OD's last loss was via sub. So I like those, how those add up. And our last fight, you know what it is. I'm not even gonna put the line up there because whatever the line is, when you can bet it, you fucking bet it. And we're risking the house. And people ask, well, everyone has different houses, blah blah blah. What do you win? We're risking the house to win legacy.
Yeah,
It's a
whatever your
legacy.
house is, you
It's
bet
a
that.
legacy fight. It's a legacy fight. This is where fucking legends are made. There's no pressure without diamonds. There's no reward with no risk. So risk the fucking house if you want to have a legacy and you want to leave generational wealth for your family. That's what the bet is.
God,
Our
you just
parlay
meal.
plus 499. Sugar to win -135. Grosso to win -140. Zell Huber to win -235. Yasmin to win -575. That is plus 499 again. 50 to win 199, almost $200. Throw $100 on it, you win 500. Thank me later. Let's fucking go. See you at the Sphere.
Let's go, baby. Money lines barking in that parlay. I love it. I love it. Woo! Oh shit. Oh, mine's empty. I was gonna try to act like I killed it, but shouts Mexico, shouts Corona, shout out to you. Another sugar card, another great preview show. We got to have another great Saturday with the sugar era. Are we gonna try to get live somehow? It's gonna be tough.
To the fans watching, I'm gonna be drunk at like 10 a.m. and the card starts at 4.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try. I promise you, and with everything I love, we're gonna try. But I'm letting you know, just don't cancel us if I say something bad or wrong, because I'm gonna be if we go live, I'm drunk. So get that out there right now.
Disclaimer right now. You just got your disclaimer.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, everybody. See you on the other side. Doses.